That was the news. This is the rundown. Yes. My oh my. News a little bit disturbing today, Trent. I'm not gonna lie. There is a lot in there. But and more importantly, 2 minutes 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Game 3 of the NBA Finals from Boston. The Celtics lead 87-83. So yes, we have a ball game here, Trent.
I am so sorry, Rich. I stepped away there, pal. My bad. What did you say?
Oh, I put so much effort into setting the stage for what was going on in the Celtics-Warriors game, and now the information I just said is old and irrelevant, and I'm not going to repeat it. I'm just not. You missed it, bro.
I know I missed it, and I was, it's funny because a little backstory. I have a cat in my studio this evening.
He tried to murder you because cats are evil.
I know, and he wanted to be let out, and I went to open the door, and he wouldn't go out. So I'm like, okay, well, you're staying in here through the Super Radio Rundown. You're gonna really enjoy yourself. So that's
you either
fantastic.
Get out or enjoy the show. I think that should be our motto.
Yeah. If
Super
you don't enjoy the show,
Radio
get
Brothers, get out or enjoy the show.
Get out or enjoy the show. Absolutely.
I kind of dig that.
Fantastic.
That's pretty good.
So, but hey, I was trying to be a decent human being and let the darn cat out. But you know what? He wouldn't go, so that's his fault.
Yeah. No, he's just, because animals are dumb, Trent, ultimately. What can you do?
Oh, yeah. That's true. But all I know is the Golden State Warriors are working on a comeback. That's all I know.
4-point game with 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Okay, Super Radio Brothers rundown. Guess what, Trent? Netflix is having Geeked Week. Geeked Week 2022. I'm a geek. No, of course not, Trent. How could you ask me that? We just established that I am the father of all things cool in the news. So how could I be a geek? Although
geeks can be cool. Although
I am geeking out for all of these cool geeky things coming to Netflix. Yes, a Geeked Week, June 6th through the 10th. June 6th, guess what? The new season of Umbrella Academy comes out. Looking forward to that. I believe they said that was the final season. Really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. Lock and Key. Looking forward to another show, The Sandman, based on the great work of Neil Gaiman, one of the great graphic novels of all time, coming to Netflix. It's going to be a show. That's crazy. Resident Evil has a new show. That looks pretty awesome as well. We posted the trailer on Super Radio Brothers social media. Sweet Tooth Season 1 was incredible. Did you see Sweet Tooth, Trent?
I didn't see it yet, but I heard a lot about it. I heard it was really, really good. Got a lot of rave reviews from it. Yeah,
I really dig Sweet Tooth. It is based on a comic book and graphic novel, and it's about an apocalyptic future, basically where the end of humanity was brought on by some disease, and one of the side effects of this disease was that humans started giving birth to human animal hybrids, so kids weren't just coming out human anymore. They were, half deer, half human, half rabbit, half whatever, any animal you can think of, basically was, and this was basically the plague. Humans weren't existing anymore, and it caused the downfall. And the main character in Sweet Tooth is like a half deer, half human child. And some of the children are more animal than human. Some are more human than animal. So it's really interesting. I really dug the first season of Sweet Tooth, and I'm really looking forward to the second. That's coming up here. It is out already, as a matter of fact, June 6th, all of these shows. Man, there's just so much to watch right now. June 7th, some more cool stuff coming out. The Gray Man, School for the Good and Evil, Spiderhead, Killer Book Club. I don't know any of this stuff. I'm assuming it's cool, Trent. But June 7th, way less cool than June 6th. And animation coming out June 8th. Cyberpunk, Edge Runners. That's based off a popular video game. Love and Death Robot, Moonrise. More Stranger Things coming out.
Are you a cyberpunk?
I'm not a cyberpunk. I never got into that game.
Okay.
So, and I guess the Cuphead show, which is going to highlight video games and stuff like that. So Geek Week, I think that's pretty cool from Netflix. After losing the Marvel shows and all of that, they're kind of showing you, hey, we got a lot of cool stuff in the geek realm, nerd culture that you can't ignore. If you canceled your subscription like a lot of people did, you need to come back to us. So I think it's a good effort, and I'm glad I have Netflix because, especially the June 6th shows, whether it's Umbrella Academy, Resident Evil, Sandman, Sweet Tooth, these are all shows I am definitely looking forward to. Box office over the weekend, Top Gun Maverick, #1 again, 90 million. I got a chance to see it. I'll give you a little review here. I plan on putting a review up on Super Radio Brother Highlights. More to come on that. We'll let you know. But by far, too, Top Gun Maverick, 90 million at the box office. And it's really good. So that's why people are turning out to see it. Everything else, nothing over 10 million. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, 9 million at the box office. Bob's Burgers movie, 4.6 million. That's actually pretty impressive from the animation movie. And Everything Everywhere All at Once, still sticking up there, 2 million. Number 6 at the box office. And by the way, now streaming. So you can go ahead and check that out at home. What else do we have here? So many cool things coming out here in June. Miss Marvel Season 1 premiering on Disney Plus on June 8th. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, a 16-year-old Pakistani-American high school student from Jersey City who's an aspiring artist and avid video gamer, writes superhero fan fiction about heroes such as Captain Marvel. Khan gains the ability to harness cosmic energy and create constructs from a magical ability, and I am fairly familiar with the Miss Marvel character. It'll be interesting how close it is to the source material. I believe in the source material that she's an Inhuman, and Black Bolt was introduced in the new Doctor Strange movie. So it'll be interesting to see if Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is an Inhuman as she is in the comic books. We'll see. That's another super cool thing. Not super cool was HBO Max canceling Raised by Wolves, one of my favorite shows. Got through 2 seasons, and I'm ready to cry right now as I talk about it. It's such a great show. And it's a Ridley Scott-backed sci-fi series. You all know Ridley Scott, of course, director of Alien, creator of the Xenomorph and that franchise that has really endured decades and still is relevant. I love the vision of Ridley Scott, and this was a cool show. But after 2 seasons, it is unfortunately canceled at HBO Max, but they do say a season 3 actually is completed, so or at least the idea for it. So it's going to be shopped, and this has happened before. Like The Expanse was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and no, it's canceled. Well, Amazon picked it up, and we got like 3 more, which the story's definitely not over. I thought both season 1 and season 2 spectacular. Unfortunately, canceled at HBO Max, but I think there's a good chance that the Ridley Scott vision will be picked up here by some other probably streaming service. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I really dig Raised by Wolves. I think it was one of the best shows streaming these past couple of years, and you would think HBO Max with the Ridley Scott production would give it a chance to at least finish the story. That's one of the things that's really disappointing as a fan when you watch something. And maybe the problem, serialized storytelling, you see it a lot where some of these shows, the show wants to be like a comic book now. One of the things, and that's what entertainment has turned to. They all want to be like comic books. So one of the things that you learn to love as someone who's read that media is that that the story never ends. That's the point. It's never going to end. It's ongoing. 30 years from now, the plight, the Parker Luck, think of any character. That story's still going to be going on. It never ends. And now these shows try to emulate that, and unfortunately they get canceled. Meanwhile, there was no completed story. Well, if it was the old days, each episode was a completed story. So these days it's problematic when you run into a situation where you're trying to run that same, basically scam, right, that the funny books do, where, well, that's how they bring you in. Story's never going to end. It's continue. But like with Raised by Wolves, man, it would have been pretty great to get an ending to that story. Now you feel unfulfilled, and you dedicated so much time to it. And not a lot of shows I watch that's happened to, but you see a lot of people complaining about that nowadays. But that's what it is. That's the nature of the storytelling method that they use in all of these streaming shows. They want to be like comic books now. It's the story never ends, to be continued until guess what? It's canceled. Sorry, you didn't get an ending. Trent, that would be like you getting a book, 500 pages, and they say, well, the book was actually 700 pages, but we didn't have enough tree. So here's
exactly. So you got 500 pages, but you don't have the final 200. It's like, and then more than likely it would leave off in a part where the reader is left hanging, and it's like you have no idea what's going to happen next.
And so it's a bit of an issue. Early fourth quarter here in Boston, lead back up to 9 points for the Celtics. So taking control again here in the fourth. We saw them do that in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So that is your Super Radio rundown, and this is
Video game news. Video game. Yeah.
Are you excited about that, Trent? Your video game news?
I am pumped up, man. That intro gets me every time.
Well, how about this? The number of UK